Hey guys, this is Alex from 4C Trading, and again, happy new year guys. I hope this one is gonna be better than the last one when it comes to real life, right? It definitely 2020 wasn't the best when it came to it. And yes, again, today I am located on Enjin coin, and it is one of the coins that I got a request in the comments to do a little analysis on it. And again, it's one of those coins that you can really do a high time frame analysis, right? So yes, I am recording this video a couple of days in advance because this is the video that's gonna get released on the 2nd of January. So by that time some stuff can change, but I don't think it will, because we are gonna be mostly looking at daily and weekly timeframes anyway, so things should take a little bit while to move, right? So in the current mist when I'm recording this video, Bitcoin is located on around 28k with Bitcoin dominance level still at 70, and we haven't really lost any major levels on Bitcoin dominance just yet, right? It's still, I mean, it still haven't lost an area down here, so it's still very much possible that Bitcoin dominance continues to go up. That's why I will show you a trade on Enjin USDT and also on Enjin BTC, because there's one thing that can happen here, right? So in Enjin, USDT can still get filled if Bitcoin continues its rampage. It will get filled on our main area, but then our BTC on Enjin can still go down for like, I think it was like 40% before it gets filled, right? So we have a small possibility of actually getting filled on both of these charts here and making some money on both of them, right? So that's a rare occasion that you usually get when you come to it. So right off the bat, let's just see a main area right here. When we check on daily, or when we even check on weekly, we can all locate this area mostly here right now, here right here, and you can see this area still remained untested, right? So this area is really strong, and it looks like it's one of the mainest area on the current chart. And if you look at it from this point of perspective, you can see that from this area it used to pump 160% or even more, actually 180, 190%, right? And this area in our luck was never tested before, so we can actually make some money out of this one, right? If nothing else. So deadly speaking about it, if we look at it, if we take our simple long position tool and we place it right here, we can see that our stop loss in this case is going to be a little bit more than we usually have for. We usually aim for like 10%, but this time around I guess it's going to be a little bit 11, but that's okay because our first profit take is not going to be that light either, right? So when it comes to profit take, we will be taking something like this. And yes, that would be our first profit take when it comes to it. And you can see already right off the bat, again, it's not a bad coin. It's definitely not bad coin to trade. And even when I look at the volume is definitely not bad at this coin as well. It is increasing a little bit, so we might not even drop underneath this and get filled. Well, the reason for it, if you look at it, we have kind of tapped this liquidity 3 times now, right? You can see one here, and we also tapped it here. And you know, multiple touches on the same liquidity spots or areas can usually descend into a little bit of a drops and then go lower to get more liquidity from beyond and then pumping onwards, right? So yeah, if you look at it right off the bat, the volume is not that bad, so it might not even drop underneath this. But then again, if you look at it, it's a lot more red candles, so it's a lot more negative volume as well. So a lot of people are still dumping at these levels, right? But if you look at it for the first profit take, we can even front run it just a little bit, right? We can even move it just a little bit down. So yeah, in this case, we get still 28% or 2.3 R, still a pretty good profit take, right? And then for the second profit take, in this case, in this chart, right, it's quite clear. It is quite clear when it comes to it, right? It is quite clear located right here. And if you put it all the way to up there, it's 70% or 6.19 R. So yes, it is pretty good profit take. And again, guys, you can see all the prices to my right side. I know that I get that question a lot asked. And yes, if you put your video on the full HD, you will be able to see these numbers quite well, actually, right? And the buy area and the profit take areas, right? So yeah, this would be somehow right analysis for the USDT part of chart. So even if we go down on the lower time frame, and I'm not really sure if this is gonna matter in the next 4 days, if this is gonna survive till then, right? But yes, you could potentially play a small scalp here, but I wouldn't advise it because already you have already drained the liquidity for the scalp, because my scalp would have been located in this box right here, and you can already see that you've drained the liquidity from it, so it wouldn't be a smart idea anymore. So right now I wouldn't be doing anything on this coin unless this coin somehow pumps from here and ends up above here, right? then I would use kind of this box, not so bullishly. I would move it a little bit down and I would use this box to do another position from it, right? But again, that is something that we can probably discuss after New Year, if that won't happen, right? I don't think that this is going to happen like next 4 days, but we can discuss this after New Year if it does happen indeed, right? Let's also check up for our trade to get filled. We need to drop another 30%, which is definitely not impossible, right? Because we have dropped a lot more already from here to here, right? So yes, another 30% is quite well possible, especially with some of the negative volume in between, right? Now going over to Enjin BTC. So yeah, I quickly checked this chart before I started doing this one. And the thing with Enjin BTC, as you can see, why this makes it interesting on this side as well, right? We have actually lost the main area to the left side, right? We have actually lost it. And if I'm not even mistaken, yes, we already have a weekly close underneath it. Actually, this is going to be the first weekly close after this Sunday that's going to be lost, this area. So yes, if we get this weekly close underneath this area, then you very well know that the next location for some trades that could happen on this coin are located down here. Whoops. Located down here, yeah. And that, if I'm not mistaken, let's see how far it still has to go before it gets there. And to get there, it still has to go about 30%. So you can see per specialty in this case, right? So if Bitcoin, let's just say, right, if Bitcoin continues to go up right now and breaks even the highest levels of, Bitcoin dominance, well, when it comes to Bitcoin charts, well, Enjin will then definitely drop down into this area if that continues to happen. But while Enjin USDT won't have the same effect, because USDT usually follows the Bitcoin's pumps, right? It doesn't overrun Bitcoin. So let's just say Bitcoin pumps for like 5 grand. You're not gonna see the same kind of pumps on alts, but you will see that slow the upsend as well, right? Especially if they have some hype behind the coin. And in this case, you can't really do a trade in advance because we kind of have the same problem when it comes to it. Because when you're so low, your stop loss, right? Your stop losses become ridiculously fat, right? And now in this case, if you look at it, look at this, it's 30%, right? But it's actually not bad as I've expected it. I actually expect a lot fatter stop loss. And in this case, if I went on lower time frames, I'm pretty sure I could find a suitable stop loss. Right off here, let's see how much is that. Yeah. So again, you can see it's 20%. It's not ridiculously fat. We already had it in the past like this. But you also have to understand one thing, right? I mean, this time around, our profit take is absolutely huge, right? Our first profit take, the profit take I would go after is absolutely massive. And even if I front run this box a little bit so that we secure ourselves, we still get a juicy 50% profits on the first take. And that is after 2.7 R, right? So the R isn't the best because our stop loss is wide, right? But the first profit take still makes up for it, right? It's still a pretty decent profit take. And in that case, it's really hard to predict the next one because this area is so fat. As you can see, this area is so fat. And if we measure it, this area, you can see that this area is actually almost 30% fat. So it wouldn't be wrong if you took that next profit take already at the top of this area for 114% and or 5R. So I would actually, recommend doing that as well. So I would say this area in this case, in this particular trade, it will count as 2 profit takes. One at the top of the box and one at the bottom of the box. And if that happens, right, if the second area ever gets hit, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some sort of a pullback from this area. I don't think we will break this one on the first try. It would be almost a miracle if that happens, especially when I'm trading alts for so long. It definitely does not, something like this does really rarely happen, right? So yeah, in this case, you would kind of have to, be good and wise to sell all of your position on the second profit take and then try to find another entry somewhere located around down here, right? On basically based off price action, which you can't really tell yet because this, let me guess, guys, this is still probably a month away or maybe 2 when this is going to happen. This is one of those long trades that you're going to be waiting for a while for you to get in, right? So you have nothing to be afraid here because this is a really long trade. You fill it in and you just forget about it. You set up your TPs and just check it here and there. And also don't forget to use Tap Trader, right, for alerts on your phone because yeah, it is a lot better than using the actual Binance stop losses. Binance, a lot of the times they weak out, especially these alts that have smaller volume. They tend to weak out. You get stopped at the very bottom, right? And I do mean at the very bottom, because the filling system is so bad. And yeah, and then most likely the trade turns around and you're actually winning, and you would actually won it at the end, but you're stuck with some losses, right? So it's a pretty standard process when it comes to it, right? So yes, guys, I mean, show us some love, right? Subscribe to our channels, like the videos, join us at Free4C community channel, right? And again, we wish you a happy new year, and we will be seeing each other in the next one.